Hello, everyone. My name is Iris Catholic. I am the Thai Dene Nene manager for the Litsaka Dene First Nation for an Indigenous protected area in the Northwest Territories.
Hi, everyone. I'm joining Iris, and my name is Carrie Karsgaard. I'm at Cape Breton University in Mi'kmaq Territory in Nova Scotia, Canada. We're happy to be here today.
So part of our introduction to climate change in Thai Dene Nene, set on the east arm of Tuna Day, also known as Great Slave Lake, the Indigenous protected area of Thai Dene Nene is fast changing but deeply imbued with ancestral knowledge and care. Characterized by rivers and waterfalls, dramatic rock formations, a deep freshwater lake, and the migration of barren ground caribou. The land has sustained Dennisoflina for generations. Despite the community's small contributions to climate change, climate impacts are intensifying, causing changes to ice freeze up and breakup, animal migration patterns, wildfires, and changes in vegetation. Thai Dene Nene was established by the Litsaka Dene First Nation in 2019. The vision for Thai Dene Nene is Nue Nene Nue Chani Unedidaha, which means our land, our culture, for our future in Dennisoflina. With its future orientation, Thai Dene Nene is dedicated not only to the care for the land through climatic changes, but also to education through land-based stewardship camps. The Litsaka Dene First Nation and Thai Dene Nene, we regularly host various camps and connect youth with elders and harvesters and support young people's learning about the land. Camps are also places to develop knowledge towards professional positions for youth as land guardians within Thai Dene Nene. These camps take ranging forms in accordance with specific locations, including a language and culture camp at Old Snowdrift River, a community hunt, and a culture camp at Adacho 2, which is also called Artillery Lake, if you look it up on the map. A spring camp at Taquizi, which is called the Little Beaver. We got no buffalo. Little Beaver Pond, and a youth canoe trip along the Snowdrift River. While climate change is not explicit focusing on all of the camps, they all inevitably address emergent climate realities as participants spend time on climate changing land. Through an integration of skill building and cultural healing via land-based learning and cultural exchange, these camps support holistic learning about climate change, while centering Dennisoflina learners within our own communities, cultures, knowledge systems, and territories.
And so I had the honor of heading out to Thai Dene Nene and working with 6 young adults from Litsaka Dene First Nation who had previously attended various land-based camps, the ones that Iris was just describing. And we worked together in a workshop to investigate these young people's concerns about climate change, memories of the land camps that they were part of, and the most significant learnings, the things that have stayed with them in the years since they participated. So our original plan was to host the camp out on the land, but the ice was still on the lake, so it prevented travel out to the cabin where we were going to visit together, so we moved inside. And you can see us here working together. We worked through a number of different activities that enabled young people to tell stories about their experiences that would help us with this case study and also inform future land-based camps that Iris will be planning over the coming years with her team. And so during this workshop, participants shared stories, they documented the knowledge that they learned and discussed what they wanted to share with the organizers of future land camps, as well as future potential participants at land camps. So what would they say to other young people who might one day participate? And so while we recorded all of their discussions and they recorded their discussions themselves, an artist also visually depicted their discussions, and you can see clips of the artwork on the next few screens. And so through the workshops, lots of the young people shared a deep, deep concern about the future of their community, which combined fears about climate change with recognition of intergenerational trauma stemming from colonization. And so, based on stories from their elders and their own experiences on the land, young people were really familiar with various climate impacts in their region. They talked about everything from lower water levels to increased fires, to invasive species, declining caribou, thinning ice, and changing seasons. All of these changes create really difficult and dangerous conditions for harvesting and traveling on the ice. Uh, the young people
Mhm.
had sort of had an existential understanding of these changes as they impacted their community's entire way of life. The Dene people are known as caribou people, and these young people wondered who their community would become if the caribou migration left their region. They expressed fear for subsequent generations who may not have the same experiences and practices that were really important to them. At the same time, youth really had a strong sense that action on climate is needed. Based on their experiences of the camps, the young people shared the importance of action through mutual aid or through helping one another. Hands-on learning is really central to the camps, and the young people shared all kinds of their favorite activities, including learning how to make fish nets, collect wood, harvest, and make traditional food. Some of them had learned skills of Western science, such as reading tree rings for wildfires and other impacts. This is the science of dendrochronology. And they also learned about reading routes for shifts in caribou migration. And I know these sound like ranging activities, but the youth discussed them all together and shared how, through participating in these activities, they saw themselves not only as learners, but also as teachers, expressing how it's nice to know you're passing on these teachings too, as one of the students said. And so, by learning this holistic range of skills for community survival and cultural maintenance, youth develop confidence and a strong sense of purpose and an understanding that they were part of a whole. And for them, this was climate resilient learning. And so it helped them think about, something as simple as collecting wood or harvesting food, helped them feel like they could contribute to respecting the land, protecting the water, and contributing to their community, which are responsibilities that these young people shared or held by all people. And so they really underscored in their workshop that action is not an individual matter, but is a collective and community endeavor. And you can see the quote from Ashton on the screen about the purpose that this gives to young people.
So in our land camps holds a space for great spiritual and emotional value for all participants. Even though they, even though the youth expressed deep concern about the changes they were seeing to the land, the young people shared repeatedly that the benefits of spending time on the land, including feelings of peace and serenity. Land camps help them to feel more connected with the land, and this connection translated into their everyday lives. Following the camps, they described how they would find opportunities to get out on the land when life became overwhelming, whether by harvesting with the family members or simply walking or driving out of town for a little bit of peace. Spending time on the land helped them feel spiritually integrated, giving them a stronger sense of identity. The land was a place for prayer, and prayer was a way of responding to climate realities and other struggles. They understand that the connection with the land to be mutual. If they cared for the land, that the land would care for them in return. Findings from this case study fundamentally shift how CCE is conceived in comparison to mainstream climate education research. Grounded in Indigenous knowledge, land-based stewardship offer holistic learning about climate change that is directly connected with the community and involves paying respect to the land. In this context, their climate learning was integrative across emotional, embodied, community-based, practical, and action-oriented spheres. This learning took place outside of the classroom, on the land and on the water, beside campfires, in canoes, in the bush, And as young people listened to stories, harvested fish and caribou, played hand games, learned their language, and contributed to the well-being of their community, this learning was not dictated by formal curriculum, structured by a clock, assessed by with exams, informed by a teacher with quality standards, or monitored using success metrics. Instead, it's grounded in the Denisohina way of knowing and being, which affects all aspects of education, goals, locations, roles, modes, organization, and expressions of learning.
Awesome. Thank you. And with that, we will conclude.